Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Please ensure to like, share, and subscribe. And also click the bell notification in the top right-hand corner to be made aware anytime I upload tutorials or videos to YouTube. All right, let's craft together. All right, guys, as promised, we're going to now do the tutorial on the Pen Gear Steno pad. That is a 6x9 in size, and I'm going to be doing everything inside Cricut Design Space. So you should not have any issues if your printer doesn't allow you to print the 8x10.5. You shouldn't have any issues with this particular Pen Gear notepad. All right, so run to Walmart and grab them up now. All right, guys, so for this project, you're going to need your Pen Gear 6x9 notepad, Steno notepad. You're also going to need some type of cardstock. I'm going to be using glitter cardstock. I'm also going to be printing using my inkjet printer. Even though my ink is low, I'm still going to use it. And I'm going to be cutting mine out on the Cricut maker, and you'll also need the 6x9 steno pad template. Now, I got mine from Etsy, and the supplier that created this template for me, they will be uploading it eventually. Outer time, they will be uploading this to their Etsy shop shortly. I'll still link her shop in the description of this video tutorial, so keep checking back for volume 3 of her Pen Gear notepads, because she will be adding the 6x9 to it with the right amount of holes at the top, okay, that you'll see me use here in just a moment. All right, so I'm in Cricut Design Space. I'm going to go ahead and click on Upload. And here is my 6x9, and this is the image that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to go ahead and select them both. And in the bottom right corner, I'm going to click Add to Canvas. And we're going to kill two birds with one stone by adding both the image and the template. All right, so this is what the template is going to look like. It just has the holes at the top. And then it is already sized for us at 6x9, so we don't need to unlock the proportions and change anything. And so we're going to go ahead and change our image. We're going to make our image a 6x9. So I'm going to unlock the proportions. The width is going to be 6 and the height is going to be 9. And then we're going to go ahead and lock that back. And we're going to then take our image. We're going to click on let's see, may always already be forward. Okay, there we go. All right, so the image we're going to place on top of the steno pad, and then we're going to click to get both of them. You should see both of them highlighted here on the right. And then you're going to go to the menu and select Align Center. And that's just to make sure that they are centered together. And then you're going to come down to the bottom right and click on Slice. All right, so what that's going to do is now make your image the template, okay? So we can take this part and we can delete it. All right, so now we have our image, we have our template at the top of it. So we're going to send this to, Cricut is going to send this to our printer, and then after it sends it to our printer, then Cricut will we'll put it in on our 12x12 mat, and Cricut will cut it for us. But what we're going to do to make this easy for us, we're going to go ahead and add that shape again for the square, and we're going to unlock the proportions and go ahead and size that at 8.5 by 11, and then lock that back. And then we're going to take the notepad and our template, not the notepad, but the notepad and our square. We're going to take them and we're going to do the same thing, align center. And then we're going to click on the square, and we're going to say send backwards. We want the image in the front. All right. and then go ahead and highlight them both and group. You can go ahead and place it up in that top corner. We're not going to attach it, guys, and I'm going to show you why here in a moment. But go ahead and click on Make It in the top right corner. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to change our material size to 8.5 by 11. Okay. And then we're going to come down to our square and we're going to change it to a 12 by 12. It's not really going to matter because we're going to be doing something here really good. We're going to go ahead and click this 3 dots here, which are the ellipses. We're going to click that and we're going to select Hide Selected. Okay. So what that's basically going to do, guys, we're going to go ahead and load the 8.5 by 11 with the printed image on it. And Cricut is going to go ahead and cut out the holes for the steno pad, and it's going to cut out our 6 by 9, but it's not going to cut the 8.5 by 11. So we're not going to have to worry about it cutting that. Okay. And that's what we want. So you want to make sure that you hide that square because it's no longer going to be useful for us. It's only to help us with the placement. And we're still going to place our image at about 1/2 inch down from the top and 1/2 inch over from the left side. So we're still going to load it like we did with our previous um template, okay, when we were doing the 8 by 10 and 10.5. All right, so at this point, we're going to go ahead and click on Continue. And this is where we're now going to send it to our printer. So I'm going to click on Send to Printer. And I'm using my HP OfficeJet Pro 7740. I'm going to take off the bleed. I'm going to use the System Dialog and Print. And then I'm going to change my preferences to make sure that I select the main tray. And that's pretty much all I want to select. And I'm going to go ahead and load my glitter cardstock. And I'm going to click on Print. I'm going to go ahead and let that print, and then I'm going to be selecting glitter cardstock for my print. And then I'm going to come up on screen, and we're going to finish this together. All right, guys, so here's my image. Remember, I told you my ink is messed up, so don't worry about the lines. But here is my image on the glitter cardstock. And, you know, we have the black lines because that's the registration mark from Cricut. So we're going to take this, guys, and we're going to go ahead and let me get my mat. We are going to go ahead and put this on our 12 by 12. And again, we're going to bring it 1/2 an inch from the top and 1/2 inch from the left and line it up on that 1/2 inch mark that we talked about. So let me get it right on the money. Right on the money. Just like that. You're going to come over a 1/2 inch from the left and a 1/2 inch from the top. All right. Once you get your image onto your mat, we're going to go ahead and place this into Cricut. Now, I've already selected glitter cardstock, so I'm going to go ahead and have Cricut to cut this out for me. So I'm going to try to turn this around, guys, so you can see my Cricut Maker over there so that I don't have to do a separate video. But you probably won't be able to hear me talking. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this on or in Cricut on the All right, we're going to let that go ahead and let Cricut do its thing. Now, this is the Pen and Gear pad. Oops. And it has, let's see here, 6x9. I was looking to see if it had how many, it's 100 sheets in here. All right. So we're going to do the same thing where you have that little bend. We're going to snip that bend on both sides. And then we're just going to roll this off. And then we're going to replace it with our image. We're going to replace it with our image, and then we're going to roll it right back on. So you're going to need your wire cutters, and you're also going to need your needle nose pliers. So I'm going to grab both of those. And that's to cut really quickly because we only have the holes at the top. So I have my wire cutters, and I also have my needle nose pliers. So we're ready to do surgery. So guys, when we hit the 8.5 by 11, now we don't have to worry about, even though we used it as a gauge, right? We don't have to worry about Cricut taking that extra step to attempt to cut out the 8.5 by 11 because we really don't need it to cut out. We just needed to cut out the 6x9. So that's just a little trick on how we can use the 8.5 by 11 cardstock as a guide, but don't cut it out. And you just don't cut it out by clicking on those three dots, which are the ellipses, and then selecting hide selected object or whatever it said. You want to hide that, okay? So now Cricut is cutting around the 6x9. All right, so we are done. And now that we are done, I'm going to show you that it only cut out the 6x9. I'll get a grip here. All right, and I'm just going to roll my mat backwards so that I don't bend my image, okay? And you can see the 8.5. It didn't attempt to cut that because we hit it, all right? All right, so we have our image. She's gorgeous. I just look at the lines like maybe some blinds. That's the way I'm going to think about it. You got to think, you got to take lemons and make lemonade. All right, so we're going to now take our um, wire cutters and we're going to cut that little bend. We're going to cut that baby right on off. Know why I'm saying my battery is low? Because my computer is plugged in. All right, guys, hold on 1 second because I don't want it to just cut off on us. Okay, give me 1 second to make sure that my laptop is plugged in. I think we're good. All right, so you see we got our hole cut in there perfectly. We're going to go ahead and use our wire cutters to cut that little metal that's bent. Woo. Now that little baby felt thicker than the other ones. And then we're going to do the same thing on the right side. All right. We're then going to take it and just roll it. Okay. Make sure you hold it straight so your lines or your holes are where they're supposed to be. I started rolling it back the wrong way. There we go. Then you're going to take off the top cover and replace it with your new one. Line it up. Lines up perfectly. You're then going to take and start on the corner. And just like you rolled it out, you're going to roll it back in. Okay. Just like that. Now it's hard for me to hold this and see what I'm doing at the same time so you can see it, but I'm going to attempt to do it. You see how easy it's going back in? And if you miss a hole, guys, go back because if you don't, it's not going to line up properly like it should. Got one hole miss right there. There we go. And we are done. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take that last piece of wire and use your wire cutters to now connect and put like that bend to connect those first two pieces of wire on the left and right to connect them back together. All right. So all you're doing is just making sure, put this so you can see it. You're just making sure with the wire cutters, when you put this bend in here, you're just making sure that your pad can't come apart. All right. So I'm going to grab it and bend it. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. I'm just going to grab that wire and bend it to make it go underneath or just as long as it's bent. All right. So we got it bent. Everything lines up nice and pretty. Pull that up so you guys can see. But I'm just going to pretend she's looking out the window and these are blinds. But here you go. You see, we can open it and it's all put together. All right. So for those of you that don't have a printer large enough to do the 8 by 10.5, here's another idea, which is the 6 by 9. All right. 6 by 9 with 100 sheets. I think these were like, I think they were like 60 cents, if not less. But I got them at Walmart. But I know they were less than $1. All right. So that's it, guys. So for this particular project, all you're going to need is your image of choice. I created this image in Midjourney without the lines. I'm using glitter cardstock that I also got at Walmart, but I have it linked in the description of this video if you want to order it from Amazon. And I like the glitter cardstock because it kind of gives it that pop, that kind of gloss look to it. So you can see how pretty those colors are. I got to get some ink, guys, because this ain't gonna work. But for this tutorial, I just wanted to be able to show you guys the whole process without having to do sublimation. Okay. All right, so you're going to need your image of choice. You're going to size your image down to a 6 by 9. You're also going to need your template. All right. So Outer Time is going to be adding this template to her Etsy store up under volume 3, I think it is, of her Pen Gear templates. So stay tuned. Check out her Etsy for that. And then all you're going to need is just We use the 12 by 12 mat. Don't forget to click on the ellipsis and hide the 8.5 by 11 so that it won't attempt to cut that part out because we just really need it to cut the template. We're just using the 8.5 by 11 as a guide. So that's a little nugget that you also learned today, hopefully, is how to hide um, something that you don't want Cricut to truly cut, but you want to use it as a guide. All right. And there we have it. We did everything inside Cricut Design Space. And again, for those of you that can't do, let me see where I put it. For those of you that can't do the 8 by 10.5, all right. For those of you that can't do the 8 by 10.5, now I've given you another option where you can still do the notepads. And these make great gifts, guys. Great gifts. Put your image, add some words, add some inspirational quotes, whatever you want to do. But I'm now giving you an option if you can't do the 8.5 by or the 8 by 10.5. All right. And this image is on my Etsy store for those that are interested. Then now you have the option to do the 6 by 9. All right. Lines up perfectly. Thanks, Otter Time and Annamail. Thank you so much. All right. All right, guys, that's it. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. If you're currently in my Facebook group, guys, thank you so much for following me via Facebook. If you would like to join my Facebook group, it's always linked in the description of my video tutorials. All you have to do is click on that link, agree to the Facebook group rules, and we'll get you in. Okay. And then if you are currently subscribed to my YouTube channel, I want to thank you guys so much for following me via or subscribing to my YouTube. Also, check me out on TikTok up under Candora's Creative Crafts. It will be linked in my link tree. My link tree will keep you connected with my Etsy store if you want to shop with me, my Shopify, my TikTok, my Facebook, Creative Fabrica. All of that is in my link tree. So my link tree is in the description of the video tutorial. All you have to do is click that. But you can also connect with the Etsy shop for Otter Time for her Pen Gear Notepads. I have that linked in the description of this video tutorial. And stay tuned for volume 3 so that you can get this 6 by 9 template. You will not be disappointed shopping with her. Okay. All of her templates are amazing and they all come out perfectly, just like the Pen and Gear. Okay. So yeah, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Guys, I'm on my way to 14,000, almost at 14,000 subscribers, and I'm stoked about that. All right. All right, guys, that's it. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. If you have any questions or comments for me about the video, anything wasn't clear, or if you just want to say, hey, Doris, then chime in the comments because I do respond to everybody. All right. And you guys know my motto is each one reach one so that each one can teach one. And you guys have an amazing day. Bye.